So you get a 60 million investment. How you're going to utilize it?
So you really need someone who's an expert in the field. Just hiring a person in-house doesn't work. But most businesses don't understand that. So we
Yeah.
started hiring contractors on Upwork. And the reason we hired contractors, we didn't know how long this money was going to come because we had 3, 4 years of struggle where there was no money. And all of the contractors we hired on Upwork are still with us today. So we converted all of them over to
Wow.
full-time employees.
Your stuff is replacing lots of tools like HubSpot, ClickFunnels, Calendly. So how you come up with those plans, how you come up with the inspiration, I need to do this, I need to do it's a very vast stuff. The reason I think you guys got an award of Entrepreneur of Year 2020-2024. So while at the time when you are working in Chintan or at the time when you started high level, it was in your goal that one day you will achieve this. So, welcome to new episodes of Marketing Secrets with Mastermind Implementation with AI Tools with Nipun Syal, AI Automation Marketing Specialist and founder of three companies. So, today we have with us Mr. Varun, co founder of HighLevel. Hi, Varun. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Nipun. Glad to be here.
So, how's everything going on?
Good. We're continuing to create more SaaSpreneurs. Company grows. All good on our side.
Okay, so I've seen your lot of podcast where you were telling how you met Sean, how you come from Chennai, and how exactly. But here in this podcast, I just want to know the future project. So you get a 60 million investment. How you're going to utilize it?
Got it. So it's interesting. So when we raised capital in 21, it was a crazy market. And at that time, we didn't really need the funds. Uh, what we were trying to see is, do people believe in this model and the idea that we're creating? Because going out and having people sell software as their own and the white label, there were just a lot of uncertainties there. And what we found out was, yes, the market does value that type of product. And we were profitable from day one. So we didn't need the funds when we raised it. We just did it for bringing on people who've been on this journey before, because the number of people who've helped SaaS companies scale to our level are very few. So it pays to have good advice on your side. So we went out to raise purely for that. Get good people on the board who can give you good advice and make sure that people believe the model the same way we do.
So there is a question that always stuck into my mind. Like I have worked with lots of business entrepreneurs. I've created funnels for them. And what happened is they always want to add their logo everywhere in the stuff, their brand everywhere. And I'm working with lots of tools like for the beta testing. They every time they want to put logo and entire stuff. But you guys are very different in their white label. Your white label actually is white label. So how you come up with that plan?
So when we first started High Level, we were actually trying to sell the product direct to small business, and we had mixed fortunes there. But through that journey, what we discovered was there's a lot of people working with small businesses, digital marketing agencies, SaaSpreneurs, and these people were really responsible for the business's success, because at the end of the day, we are just a tool, and if somebody does not know how to use the tool properly, there's no success there. So one way to think about this is, if you go to Best Buy or somewhere and you buy a hammer and a bunch of nails and some tools, unless you know to build something with those tools are useless. You can
Right.
put a, put down a piece of wood and keep hammering nails into it, but you're not going to get
Yeah.
anywhere. You're not going to build anything. So once we realized that, one of the biggest challenges that all of these people had is, they would buy existing tools in the market. They would get their customers to sign up for it or pay for it themselves, set everything up. And once they set it up, what would happen is the business would fire them, because the engine starts working. And at that point, the digital marketing agency or the SaaSpreneur is not required anymore. And in the eyes of the business, it's the software that's doing all of the magic. So the whole way SaaSpreneurship got created is, hey, what if we weren't the person that was selling it to the business and it wasn't our tool? What if it was the agency or the SaaSpreneur's tool? And at that point, they have that business relationship with that end customer, and the business sees them as being the reason for their success, not the tool. And that's why we created the white label, and we are very strong with it.
So the problem going on with the digital marketing agencies right now is every time they need to go and onboard a new client. So let's say one client has been onboarded, and again every month they need to search for someone else. And what happened, like if some client is on longer retention basis, after 6 7 months they hired some in-house guy to do all those stuff. But here where your tools comes into picture, because if I have created a funnel for any client, then every month if I am not giving the service, I'm giving them a software where their funnels are
right?
working. Yeah.
Because if you look at the a single person that you can hire into a business will never
Mm,
do as good of a job as a digital marketing agency who's always learning about all of the new things coming up. Like you can hire someone to
yeah.
come in and run ads for you on a platform that's already defunct. Like today, most people know if they want leads, they need to go to TikTok and Insta. But you can hire
Mm,
someone in house and depending on the type of business, they're running ads for you on Facebook or somewhere that does not work anymore. So you really need someone who's an expert in the field. Just hiring a person in house doesn't work. But most businesses don't
yeah.
understand that.
So marketers are very good in marketing. Just like if I talk to myself, like I can create a funnels, but if you tell me to code something for development, but we are like shit with that. So like in that case, we use the no code tools like you, so where we can know how exactly the stuff works.
Yeah.
So you move from Chennai to Qatar. Chennai people are doing amazing stuff. We have a brilliant example of CEO of Zoho, Sridhar Vembu. Is from Chennai, and our tool is kind of similar stuff with, if we talk about the pipelines, what Zoho is doing, and the some of the scheduling stuff with Zoho marketing is doing. So what made you to move to Qatar?
And I mean, with Chennai, and this is the power of an ecosystem, right? Once you have some people who are successful and they start teaching others, it just creates an ecosystem that becomes very vibrant. Even out of Zoho, like Freshworks was born out of Zoho.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of companies, even with the Freshworks network. There's one called ChargeBee, which is doing recurring subscriptions.
right.
I know a bunch of people who have left Freshworks and have now started SaaS companies themselves that are all clocking millions of dollars of revenue. So I think the ecosystem and teaching people is really important. But in my case, it was really straightforward. I knew that we were going to start doing something new. So by that time, me and Sean were we had worked together in the past. I'd quit my job and we were going to work together again. So it might take a few years before it clicks, and it took a lot of time. So my wife was working here in Qatar. She's in research, and
Mm,
medical research where money is, that's where research can be done. So she
mm,
was working here in Qatar, and I moved here. So she supported me through that whole journey. And what we thought might be a year before we could pay ourselves turned out to be 4 years. So
mm.
it's it's good that somebody was paying the bills while we were able to go out and have that adventure. I think for a company that's always been in person, remote is a bit of a shocker. But the nice thing for us is after I moved to Qatar, Sean was in Eugene, I was in Doha, so we had to work remotely ourselves. And when we decided to hire team members, we started hiring only once we had money to hire them. And we went to Upwork like anyone does. So we
Yeah,
started hiring contractors on Upwork. And the reason we hired contractors, we didn't know how long this money was going to come because we had 3 4 years of struggle where there was no money. Now there was money, but what if it runs out or we run into issues? So we started hiring contractors on Upwork, and we worked remotely with all of them. But over time, as we continue to grow, we just continue to hold steady. The interesting thing, and India well, so with India, when we switched from contractors to full-time employees along the way, and all of the contractors we hired on Upwork are still with us today. So we converted all of them over to full-time
wow.
employees. They stopped their contracting business and joined us full-time. But when we started hiring in India, the questions I used to get is, hey, if I work remote, my parents won't believe that I have a job, or I'm planning to get married. I don't think my in laws will
Mm.
think I have a real job if I'm working remote. So definitely hiring was more of a struggle than the actual work. But post COVID, when all of the big Indian firms started sending people home, that perception changed and it became much easier. But our challenge has never been the work because Slack and Zoom are native to us. So the same way you walk into an office when we wake up, Slack and Zoom rooms are all open.
And I want to ask a similar question, like stuff. Are you guys planning to build something related to Slack where we can do some chat kind of stuff and we can tag people?
Yes, so right now we're actually working on a revamp of our conversations page, which will mirror Slack and a lot of other tools. Today, the conversation section within high level is purely just SMS or email conversations between
Right.
contacts and you. But what we're moving to is more of an inbox where you can DM each other within the company. So internal messages, you can have group messages where multiple people in your company are chatting with a particular prospect. And that's very popular for real estate because you have two
Right.
partners who are buying a house together and the realtor needs to talk to both of them at the same time. We also have a lot of people that want to sync in their personal email and reply using high level. So we're coming up with an inbox which will be very similar. So you can have different channels, which might be email, which might be internal message, group message, different participants. That should roll out this year.
Wow, very great. There is one more question related to the same stuff. Right now, people, what happens, they take an inspiration from a biggest tool in the market and they start making something out of it by modeling it. But your stuff is replacing lots of tools like HubSpot, ClickFunnels, Calendly. So how you come up with those plans? How you come up with the inspiration? I need to do this. I need to do. It's a very vast stuff.
Well, I mean, over there, the credit goes to our customers because we have an ideas list where customers can go tell us what we should care about. So one good example is for the longest time with email, everyone knows that plain text email does better than fully designed out email that you send
Right.
out to people. And for the longest time, we only had a plain text email editor within the app, and our customers kept asking for full fledged email builder, and we kept telling them that doesn't make sense because nobody will open that email. But at some
True.
point, enough of them asked for it that we built it. And there was good reasoning on their side. Like, hey, it's not about us. We understand, but our clients want a newsletter that looks like that. What are we supposed to
Right.
tell them? And so we just built it. So for a large part, our entire roadmap is dictated by our customers. So whatever they tell us to build, we built, and that's what's gotten us to this point.
So that's what got on my next concern. So every day when I see the high level community, Sean coming up with a loom with new feature. Here is a loom for new feature. Here's a loom for new feature. But when you put lots of stuff in a single bucket, sometimes it's very difficult for people to observe. And just like our white label agency on us, what we do is we are sending those emails to our client that we are coming up with these features. And sometimes they are like overwhelming to them. So how we can cope up with this?
Got it. And this is an interesting one. We always try to ask them what value they're adding to their customers. So before you pick the feature, figure out what you're delivering to your customer. And when someone's new and they're starting off, the ones that we ask them to start with are miss call text back. Put the chat widget on the website. Get the GBP phone number updated so it flows through high level. Really simple things that they can do that will show the business that they're adding value. So the minute the business logs in and looks at their conversations, there's phone calls that they see that came in off the GBP profile. There's chat messages off the website. Someone called them and they didn't pick up, and the missed call text back went out, and now there's a reply from the customer. So there's activity that actually make stops the customer from churning. And on top of that, I think you build your offering. So don't let the feature dictate what you sell to the customer. Figure out what that offering is. Does that pain point exist with your customer? And then decide which feature to use or if you should be using a feature at all.
Right, and that remind me of one of the incident. I was doing a workshop where there was 80 entrepreneurs, and I was keep on telling the features like this, and that. And after that, even people are really excited. They told me, "Oh, Nipun, it's a very good tool." And when I checked my conversion rate, out of 80, only two get converted. And me and my team was brainstorming what happened. Everything was going good, why nobody has converted? And then we take a feedback. They told us that okay, platform is good, but we are not able to use that because it was very overwhelming information to them. And on a very next week, I have a different event where do we do a different strategy. So where exactly there was 100 entrepreneurs, and we tell them not about features, we tell them how exactly it can help you out in solving your pain problems. Like right now you have lots of people booking up your appointment, but they are not showing up. So this automation can trigger them as a reminder to them 24 hours to go, 2 hours to go. So lots of people are visiting on your website right now, but you don't know because from the Google Analytics you only know the numbers. But from this tool you can know their name, number, how many time they are visiting. And then the conversion rate was around 50-60%.
Yeah. And
So
this is where I think a lot of people, because all the tools exist, the first motion that some people try is to go in and replace all the existing tools for that business. But I think this is where they need to dig into the problem more. So if price is a problem for that business, hey, I'm paying for these three or four tools, I'm paying too much, then going in with an all-in-one tool that's much cheaper makes sense. But if they're not complaining about the price, find out a different angle that you're going to add value in. You can always integrate with all of those tools and bring that data into high level and sell them on something else first. And over a period of time, you can wean them off the other tools. But your first motion shouldn't be to go in and replace their existing stack.
I want to know one secret with you, so you need not to lie for this. So I've seen that you guys are very much active on Facebook group. So did you hire some VA who are replying on your behalf, or you are the one who is replying them?
I mean, over there, it's just we care enough about the product. And this is the best way for us to stay connected with our customers, right? And every day, our team is pushing out tons of releases. So, being in the Facebook group and talking to customers is how we keep a pulse on the situation. So, is our team building things that our customers like? Are we making progress in the right direction? So that is how we judge our success. So we're always in there replying, because if we are not, if it's not us and if it's a VA or someone else talking to customers, they might miss out on some nuances that we will catch, and at that point the community isn't that useful anymore, right?
And how did you react with the negative comments? Because you have some negative post also and positive, and you guys have those moderation, because from your permission they can let in, but still people are posting something that they are in the product and some others, but you are the one replying in those comments also, hey, you can do this, you are helping them out. So how you cope up with that?
I think the negative stuff is what has helped us improve, right? So the nice thing for us is knowing that it won't always be the same thing. Because if somebody said something negative 4 years back and they're still complaining about it today, that's bad, because that means we've made no progress. But what we've usually seen is what someone was complaining about in 2019, they stopped complaining about in 2020. What they started complaining about in 20 stopped in 21. So today is a new set of complaints, and that's really new opportunity for us, right? Because if we can go out and solve all of those problems, that means we've grown our audience by more, and the app starts to work perfectly for more
Great. So
people.
you take it as a feedback, not a negative comment. That's really amazing. And that's the reason I think you guys got an award of Entrepreneur of Year 2020-2024. So while at the time when you are working in Chennai, or at the time when you started high level, it was in your goal that one day you will achieve this.
So in that way, we are slightly accidental. So when we first started, between me and Sean, our goal was to pay ourselves. It's, hey, both of us are good at building apps. If we can build an app for small businesses and we can pay both our salaries, that means we don't have to go out and work for someone else anymore. So that was the goal when we started. I think once Robin joined us in 20, it still was the same goal, but once Robin joined us in 2019, that goal slightly started to evolve. And I think once we saw the traction, we kind of knew where we were going. So today we have a much bigger vision than when we started. But when we started, it was just, hey, can we pay ourselves so we don't have to work for anyone else?
Wow. So you have guys have any plan to go public?
I mean, public is a tough one. We have seen
Mhm.
companies that we know of pretty closely who were public before and have then gone private again. I think one
Mhm.
is Squarespace, who was public, just got taken private again. And the reason that
Right.
happens is building in public markets is sometimes hard, because you get judged month to month, quarter to quarter, and some of your longer term initiatives might not yield the returns that you want. But that being said, our goal right now is to make sure that we're ready, because some of this depends on external factors as well, like how are the markets doing right then, and the same thing that's a negative is also a positive. So if so many people have built their business on top of high level, and high level is a publicly traded company, they have access to you. I mean, they can first own parts of the company, and they also have access to detailed reporting on the health of the company, and that accountability might be nice as well. So we don't know what path we're going to take, but we're making sure that we are IPO ready.
Okay, and so next question is concern of lots of people. So there is a lawsuit going on with Russell Brunson, ClickFunnels with high level, and mostly people are heard of it. And lots of big names like Guston, Pang June are on the white level support, and agencies like us are also on a white level support of high level. So do we need to worried about the same? And the second stuff is lots of affiliates. Like, you don't want to work for someone, you told me. So lots of people who are working earlier for 9 to 5, they just left their job and doing working as an affiliate of high level and earning a good amount. So those all those guys needs to worried about this.
Yeah. No, so whether there's no reason to worry. So I think two things. We don't publicly disclose a lot of numbers, but whatever is in people's heads, we're much larger than most people will give us credit for. And we have a really good law firm as well. And so far, the advice that we've gotten is there's nothing to be worried about. This will get sorted out, but there will be no risk to customers.
So that you have cleared the most of the part which are letting people into dilemma what gonna happen. And I want to ask, like, right now ClickFunnels come up with a feature called framework, which is quite similar to the snapshot feature of high level, which is quite famous. So do you think that they are also taking inspiration from high level?
I think that is true of not just the space or SaaS. I think that is true of
Yeah.
all innovation. I think people build on what has been working so far or on previous human knowledge. Even if you look at research or you look at how humanity has evolved as a whole, everyone builds on the previous knowledge that was left to them, right? So in some ways, when you know that this is working and a bunch of customers want it, I can see why other companies might decide to build it as well. So I'm just happy that we're contributing. So we've at least built some cool things that have added enough value to customers that other people are now looking at us.
Wow, that's really great. And I have seen lots of book are lying at the back of your bookshelf. So I just want to ask, which one is your favorite book?
um, I mean, that is a tough one. I
Yeah.
mean, the book I'm reading right now is called uh, it's by Steven Schwartzman. It's called, hold on, let me find it. Because the favorite book is like your favorite movie. It keeps evolving as you go. So
Yeah.
this one's called What It Takes. But there isn't a single favorite book. And if you have the same favorite book, there might be a problem there as well, because your thinking and your knowledge continues to evolve. So I think your favorite book should continue to evolve as well. And even with the books that I have up on there, I mean, it looks nice, but maybe half of those books I haven't read past the first chapter or two. But the other thing I
Okay.
do is, if you pick up a book and you start reading it, if it's really valuable to you and it keeps you going, that's great. But a lot of people feel like they need, once they start a book, they need to finish the book. So I freed myself of that altogether. I
Okay.
start a book, if it feels valuable, I will finish it. If it doesn't, feel free to put it down and pick up another book that might add value.
And that high level bot just catches my attention out of all those book. So what exactly it is? What award it
Oh yeah.
is?
So
So
that is a special award that we created for people who've
yeah.
been with High Level for over 5 years, and we actually have a lot of team members who have been with us right from the start, and all three of us have been with High Level for 5 years as well. So we gave ourselves one of those awards as well.
So great. If the one advice you want to give it to the SaaSpreneur, how they can reach up to the gold, platinum level, what exactly your advice will be? And if they are in a very starting state of their SaaSpreneur.
I think it depends whether they're starting early in their journey or whether they're trying to scale up. If they're early in their journey, I would focus on a simplified offering where there's not too many services that you're trying to deliver. As many of the services you're delivering are automated as possible. Things like missed call text back, GBP. Like, find things that add value to the business but don't take too much effort on your side to onboard. And once you actually start going and you have 20 customers, 50 customers, at that point I think you start venturing out to see if there's additional things that you should do. But it's keep it as simple as possible, because most times people get lost in the complexity. They see all of the features in high level, and at some level all of those features will be useful to a small business. But the minute you try to tackle it that way and you try to solve all problems for everybody, it's really hard. So you need to figure out what problem you're solving and for who you're solving, and that really helps focus you in.
And Can you elaborate more about like platinum, gold, what exactly? Because people goes to a SaaSpreneur, they see over there, but there is less information available at what time they will get those awards. Like at the reaching the level of 500,000, how many sub accounts they need to create. And one more, it's not only about money; it's about the what they are getting when they are reaching it to some level. So can you elaborate more on this?
So with the awards, we were trying to come up with a way to recognize people that have been able to go out and have a sizable impact on their business. This is where we wanted to keep it about how much money or clients they have more than how much we made. And I mean those numbers keep changing. So I think previously the limit was 500 for platinum, but now they're trying to come up with a new one because we've had so many people already have success that we need to add another layer above platinum. So the team is running that down.
Mhm.
But those are always evolving.
Okay, and question is from colleague Vibhas. I have seen Dallas, Dallas, Dallas every time Saspreneur is in Dallas. When you guys are planning to do over in Asia, because lots of community people and from India, from Dubai, from Vietnam and Philippines are over here. Do you guys have any plan for this?
Yes, so we're actively planning an event. We don't have firm dates yet, but we're going to do an event in Dubai sometime next year,
Mm,
early next year. I think once
mm.
the dates are more firm, you should see things come out in the next month or two. But we're going to do one in Dubai next year.
Oh, so you made my day because lots of people like if in my case I have a US 10 years visa, but if I need to go to for Dallas for award, so in that case I need to spend like 1.5 month to meet my clients and other stuff. But Dubai is like 3.5 hour away, and lots of people from like Europe, lots of people from Vietnam, India, Pakistan, everywhere they can come over there. So that really amazing news. So that's
Exactly.
really good.
And we know that there's a lot of people from Europe, from India, from the Philippines, from Vietnam, for whom Dubai is more accessible. And the nice thing also is it's visa free, which was an important part of the decision. How do we make it easy for people to come where they don't have to go try to get a B1, B2 before they can show up for the event?
So how's your days look like? So you are also one of those who will open up your mobile phone when you just woke up, or you will start checking the high level country. What's going on when you wake up?
And most days, yes, I wake up with the Facebook group, but after that, I try to get to the gym at least for an hour or so because over high level, like you can look at the journey of high level and you can look at my weight, and I grew as high level grew. So now I
Yeah,
started to prioritize getting in shape more. But my team will always, I mean, they know when I've woken up because I look at the Facebook group and I start sending screenshots, messages, tagging people in the channels. So they know that I've woken up and I've looked at the Facebook group when they start getting all of those messages. But beyond that, the day continues to evolve. I think as the team got larger, there was a period where more time was spent in meetings. But now I'm going through a phase where I'm decluttering my calendar again to make sure that I have time to jump on webinars like this, to jump on calls with customers, to go where the company needs me versus just sitting on calls all day.
great. And how you are so humble right now because your company is in the top 100 companies in US as per INC. And I just DM you like, okay, hey, I just want to do a podcast because earlier I was thinking like, should I approach you or not? So it was like, do you reply or not? And one of my colleague told me, hey, just ping them and let's see what they happen. And you told me, hey, Nipun, we'll jump on a podcast. No worries, just take my calendar. So I just want to know, like, from working from a Chennai in a company, now you are a co-founder of one of a biggest company in US. So what's the secret behind the same humbleness?
I think part of it is just remembering that you're playing a role in all of this. So the reason we became successful was because we listened to our customers and we decided to serve them like no one else did. And I think the way to let that all slip is by changing who you are. So we continue to be the same people. We continue to listen to customers every day, even to the question you asked before. That's why we're in the Facebook community. That's why we jump on calls with whoever wants to jump on a call with us, because it's all of this feedback. It's really the community that's pushing the company forward more than us doing something special,
Sorry.
internal and external
Mm.
within the company. So we follow the same policy inside the company as we do externally. There are no layers. Like as long as someone has a good idea and wants to get it out to the world, they're able to do it.
So I'm sharing my screen. So I will ask some question later to high level. So which one is the favorite feature of Varun on high level?
Favorite feature, I mean, that's a tough one, but I'll probably
Yeah.
pick the SaaS configurator just because it
Yeah.
helps you start to
Okay.
think about the offering. Um, but I think the SaaS is really cool. I think I mean, this isn't live today, but the AI employee that we're coming out with, which is our new feature, will be incredible. Because with the AI
Okay.
employee, it's a product that every small business should have. It's someone picking up your phone, someone responding to all of the texts, Insta, Facebook, whatever messages you're getting. It's someone who's replying to all of your reviews, who's helping you write content, and it will exist throughout the app and it works automatically. So I think the AI employee will be really cool when it comes up.
So it would be like just like what we do in Zapier, we put it like we want to create those flows to the bot, and then automatically it comes up with all those automations. It will like
Yeah,
this.
no, so that will be part of it for sure. Where in the workflow
Mm.
builder, funnel builder, you're able to describe what you want to see and you're able to see it. But I think the business side of it will have even more impact. Things like the overflow answering, where a small business receives a call, but there isn't anybody to answer. Previously, what we would have done is a missed call text back, where the call would have been missed. We would have texted them back saying, "Hey, sorry, we missed your call. Is there anything we can help you with?" But today, that will change to, "Hey, the voice, I mean, the call is automatically answered by AI, and the AI will collect a
Wow.
message for you. Hey, sure, I can help you answer that question. Can I have your name? Can I have your email? Sure, our team will get back to you." And then it'll log that into the conversation. And at that point, the conversation bot can take over as well, because the conversation bot can
Wow.
answer a variety of questions than the voice AI. But I think a combination of these will have a huge impact for the small business.
Wow. So I'm very eager to use that because I'm a AI automation guy. So I just want to eager like how I can put up hands and how the exact stuff will be going on with the AI. And people who don't know about high level, and lots of like digital marketing companies are there and entrepreneurs are there, how it can help you in scaling their agencies or their SMEs, get a brief of high level. What is high level
I
under
mean,
1 minute
previously
from
what we
you?
used to
You can
call
have all
high
those
level was
features
the
also like
agency
dashboard and
operating
stuff.
system. But I think from a small business standpoint, this really is all the tools you need to operate the business. So a business operating system is how we would describe it.
Wow. It helped to build their business and their client business as well, I think. So who is your mentor, whom you got inspired?
Again, just like the books, I'm a bit ambiguous
Yeah.
that way, where I don't have a single person that I look up to. But and my problem with heroes also is when you look up to a person for all advice, or you put them on a pedestal, eventually they'll end up doing something that you don't agree with. So what I look for is qualities that I see in other people that I would want to exhibit myself, or things that they do that I really like. So I really take from everyone instead of a single person.
If people wants to go for SaaS there's everywhere in the Dallas, so what kind of learning network opportunities they get? And even if they're exhibitor over there, but they are a first time visits over there, what kind of opportunity they will get?
So the nice thing about the events is you get to see everyone, from the person who's trying to start out today to a person that's has 2000, 3000 sub accounts under them and is doing millions in revenue. And I think you get the aspirational quality of, hey, I can get to this place and this is possible, but you also get advice and help that helps you get started today. So that broad range, I think getting all of that in one spot is definitely a big advantage.
Okay, how much you are spending on ads? If I just want to know the single maximum ad budget you spend on ads.
We actually don't. So the only ads that our
Okay.
company runs are retargeting ads, and even there the spend is minimal. So we rely on all of our customers to get the word out there. So we have an affiliate program. We have customers who refer other people that they know, and that is the only growth engine that we have. We don't run ads. We don't have a
Okay.
sales team. It's all community led.
And I have seen lots of affiliates earning millions of dollars out of it. And can you tell me the maximum number a affiliate has earned till now?
I mean, we have quite a few of them in the millions of dollars
Yeah.
range.
Hmm.
And I think the total payout that the company put out was 30 or $40 million, I think was the total affiliate payout that they've done so far. So we know quite a few of them are doing well, but I don't have
That's very, very
specific
good.
numbers there.
Okay, so people who are watching or listening this podcast, you have a new opportunity. Even if you are not a tech guy, if you are not into marketing, if you have ability or you have a community to convince someone to have a good and very viable product, so here is the new opportunity. You definitely go for the affiliate for this. So one last question from my end. So what you are projecting high level after 5 years? What's your vision now?
Yeah. I mean, the way we see it, there is no small business on the planet that cannot use high level. So one of the big pushes we're doing is international, because today a lot of the app is still US centric. So the big thing is bring in multiple payment providers, bring in multiple uh, telephony providers, language. But our goal is to get high level on the desk of every small business.
Wow, and I think you will achieve more than this in 5 years. And
Hopefully.
thank you so much for joining my podcast. And if people wants to get connect with you, so not only with the high level, which is the best platform where they will reach you out to get mentorship, because like I got so much inspiration from you, the guy from my country did that much big business. So even like it's raised my bar also. Hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. So lots of budding entrepreneurs want to get mentorship from you guys. So from there we will reach you out, and how that connection can be built with you.
Well, the easiest way is my email. It's varun@gohighlevel.com. But they can also definitely find me on Twitter and LinkedIn, which I'm on, Facebook as well. Um, yeah, all those three platforms should work.
Great. So I'm putting all those in the description, and people if you want to sign up for a free trial, I'm putting my link for the 30 days free trial so that you can have access of high level how you can use it. And thank you for joining the show. And it's very
Thank you so
learning
much for
experience
having
for
me.
me.